I'm going to tell you a story about the biggest cunt I knew at school. Well, that's besides the point, but it's not far along the list. I'm just going to give a few descriptive features. This is what he looks like, to the best of my ability, because this was fucking 8 to 7 years ago. So he had sort of longish greyish hair, he wore jumpers, so that's how you know he were a bastard. He always had his hands cuffed behind his pants, do you know how they fucking have their hands behind the back while one hand is holding the other hand? Yeah, but he walks around like that, like one of those daft cunts. It was around, I'd say my year 5 year, so I was 11. Hell, it's got to do some fucking lasting marks on cunts like me, am I right? Well, anyway, we all sat down, as we would, and obviously it's a supply teacher because I've never seen him before, and after this, I never fucking saw him again. Anyway, where were I? So he was, typing away. He had a mad look on his face, he had that, Jesus Christ hairstyle with, long hair and glasses and obviously fucking jumpers and shit like that. And he had a mad look on his face. I noticed that even from my distance. Well, anyway, I believe that it was a sort of fucking spelling thing on the interactive whiteboard because we were daft cunts even in those days. And, yeah. He had to spell some really long fucking words. Words that nowadays I don't even think I can remember, let alone pronounce. And it was just from that target alone. Wow. He's a wanker. So essentially that wasn't the worst thing that happened that day. For fuck's sake, I did see him again after that, and believe me, that's a story for another day. But this cunt didn't like children. You can't work at school and not be able to get along with children. It's practically in the fucking job application. How did I know that he didn't like children? Because he was an aggressive cunt. He was one of those mouthy bastards, hands behind the back, jumpers, ties up top, those type of bastards. And believe me, once you come across one of them, you come across all of them. Fucking bastard. He once made essentially a good mate of mine now, but I didn't know he'd become a hard nut in high school. But anyway, he made that kid cry. He was an aggressive bastard. He had a go at me, but I didn't cry because it wasn't as serious as what he did with these. And from the other stories, as I literally asked, fucking hell, this was years back. Apparently he had a go at some lass for getting a whiteboard out of her desk when that was partially the pass the whiteboard task, something like that. This cunt pushed so many people's buttons that he didn't like his own buttons being pressed for the sake of his fucking mental health. I can't remember what he made that dude cry for. I believe it was something fucking stupid because thinking back now, that would not surprise me. But onto the topic that he pissed me off. Well, I pissed him off apparently. We were in a sort of religious class, so we're alright. And a part of the final task was design your own religious symbol. And I thought that was fucking cool. So do you know what I said under my breath? Remember, I'm 11 at the time. And do you know what I say under my breath after hearing that we can design our own religious symbol? I said, yes. Do you know what you do in order to say affirmative and confirmation in order to prove appeasement and appreciation? Well, this cunt hears me, right? And he turns his head so fucking slowly, and he asks for my name. Fucking hell. He gets up, he reads the front of my RE book, to qualify my identification, and he says, "You're not doing the symbol task." I was heartbroken. Seriously, 11 years old, I felt so fucking creative and passionate for shit I did, honest to God, and this cunt fucking broke that in front of me. He ruined it for me, in front of every cunt there. That's something I'll never fucking forgive that man for. He's a bastard. And I didn't cry about it, obviously, and it was definitely not one of the worst things that he bollocked someone in that year for, but it is definitely a low fucking blow to stop me from doing a prime task that you didn't even set. I didn't even give this cunt a fake name. I want to tell his real name because it's one of those short first name and then the surname's 20 fucking letters long. I want to say it, but I don't want to give his name out for obvious reasons. So I'm going to call him Mr. Hagendaskis. See what I mean? Fucking rate long 20 syllable name. Shit like that. Yeah, it was something like that. And when you're wearing jumpers, ties, hands cuffed, fucking long hair, glasses, and angry personality, you fit the description of a bastard pretty perfectly. Apparently, and if I'm honest, I don't even think this is true, so if anything, take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, I didn't even hear about this. He once tutored another class in the same school, and he apparently threatened a kid as the head teacher walked in, and that is essentially why we never saw him again. I don't believe that. I don't. He was a wanker, don't get me wrong, he was a fucking arse, an aggressive cunt, stroppy bastard, and a mardy bastard. But I do not believe that he would threaten someone. I just don't. I didn't see it in him to threaten someone, and he was the biggest cunt of the earth. Take that with a grain of salt, and I don't know. Judge for yourself, I suppose. Well, anyway, all those experiences, except for the whole accusing one, happened in the same day, and the next day, we had a lovely woman. Like, she was awesome. Now, that is what you call a supply teacher. She wasn't one of those laid-back ones. She was very interactive. She wasn't one of those pick-and-choose cunts. She'd generally be nice. She was called Miss McFarlane. She was nice. 10 times as better than this bastard. But I think she related a lot with us. Like, we told him his name, and she was like, oh, I've not really heard many good things about that cunt. Which, obviously so, he was a bastard, and we're glad that we could relate to this woman for it, because it's clear that she knew who she was. Fucking hell. It's clear who she knew, who he was, and that sort of gave us a bit of bonding time. Twice as less than what we would have had with this bastard, but hey ho, here's hoping. Right then, I think that's all the time I've got for today, and if you want to go check out some more videos, here's a few links on the screen right now. Just go click them, check them out, and if you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave me a like and subscribe, and I'd love to know any stories. Do you have any cunty teachers? I'd love to know. I'll see you in a bit. Much love.